My beloved child, there is a reason your heart has been restless lately. There is a reason certain memories keep returning when the world becomes quiet. You thought you buried those emotions deep enough that no one could ever discover them. You smiled in front of others while silently carrying a connection that refused to disappear. But tonight, something changed. Someone felt it. Someone finally understood what your silence was truly saying. And the moment they realized the depth of your feelings, everything around them began to shift. They can no longer ignore the pull between you. They can no longer pretend that your soul does not echo inside their spirit. For a long time they were confused. They doubted themselves. They questioned whether the signs they kept receiving were real or only imagination. But then came the moment that changed everything. A single memory. A single dream. A single sentence spoken by someone unexpected. Suddenly your energy became impossible for them to escape. They felt your absence like a storm moving through a silent house. They began searching for you in places where you were never physically present. Your name started appearing in their thoughts without warning. Songs began reminding them of you. Ordinary moments turned heavy with emotion because your soul was quietly reaching theirs. And now they are moving closer. Not slowly. Not uncertainly. Closer in a way that will change both of your lives forever. You may think nothing is happening because you cannot yet see the movement with your eyes. But behind the scenes, walls are collapsing. Fear is losing its power. The distance between you is no longer protected by silence. They have finally understood something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Losing you would create a wound they could never heal from. That realization shook them deeply. Because until now, they believed they had more time. They believed your connection would always wait patiently in the shadows while they figured themselves out. But your energy began pulling away recently. Your soul became tired of chasing what refused to step forward. And the moment you started surrendering, they panicked. They felt it immediately. Even if you said nothing. Even if you disappeared quietly. They felt the emotional door beginning to close. That is why their heart has become louder lately. That is why they suddenly cannot sleep peacefully anymore. They are haunted by the possibility that they waited too long. Listen carefully, this connection was never ordinary. It was written long before either of you understood what love truly meant. Every painful lesson you survived was preparing your heart for this exact moment. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every lonely night strengthened your spirit. Every disappointment shaped the version of you they are now unable to resist. Because your soul carries something rare. Something calming. Something powerful. Even when you feel broken, your presence heals people in ways words cannot explain. And your soulmate finally sees it. They see the strength you hid behind your tears. They see the loyalty you gave even after being hurt. They see the softness in you that the world tried so hard to destroy. And now guilt is consuming them because they realize how long you stood there loving them quietly while they hesitated. They remember moments they once ignored. The way your eyes changed when they entered the room. The strange peace they felt beside you. The conversations that felt deeper than normal. They are replaying everything now. Every detail has become louder in their memory. And the more they remember, the closer they move toward you. But there is something even bigger happening tonight. Your soulmate is beginning to awaken emotionally in a way they never have before. The mask they wore for years is cracking. They are no longer satisfied with shallow connections or temporary distractions. Suddenly everything fake feels exhausting to them. They crave truth now. Realness. Depth. And every road inside their heart keeps leading back to you. That scares them. Because real love changes people. Real love demands honesty. Real love destroys illusions. They know that if they come toward you fully, nothing in their old life can remain the same. Yet despite the fear, they are still moving closer. Slowly. Carefully. But undeniably. You may notice strange signs soon. Sudden messages. Unexpected encounters. Their energy appearing around you when you least expect it. This is not coincidence. Their soul has stopped running. And when a soul stops running from its true connection, destiny begins opening doors rapidly. But before this reunion happens, you must understand something important. Do not let past pain convince you that you are unworthy of this love. Do not sabotage the blessing because fear taught you to expect abandonment. Your soulmate's delay was never proof that you lacked value. It was proof they still needed growth. Some hearts take longer to awaken because life hardened them too deeply. Some souls must lose themselves before they recognize where home truly is. And you. You were always their home. Even when they wandered emotionally. Even when confusion controlled them. A part of them always belonged to you. That is why they could never fully forget you no matter how hard they tried. You remained inside them like an unfinished sentence the universe refused to erase. Tonight they are feeling your absence more strongly than ever before. They are realizing that no one else carries your energy. No one else understands their soul the way you do. No one else makes them feel both safe and exposed at the same time. That realization is pulling them toward you with unstoppable force. And here is the shocking truth they are only beginning to admit to themselves: they are afraid someone else will find you first. Yes. The thought of another person receiving your love is becoming unbearable to them. Because now they understand what your heart truly offered. Loyalty. Peace. Depth. A once-in-a-lifetime connection that cannot be replaced. They almost lost it because they were too afraid to step forward. But destiny is giving them one final chance. And they know it. That is why their heart is racing tonight. That is why they feel urgency building inside them. Something big is approaching. Something that will break the silence between you forever. The universe is aligning conversations, timing, emotions, and circumstances in ways neither of you can fully see yet. And when the moment finally arrives, it will feel like every painful chapter suddenly makes sense. Because some love stories are delayed, not denied. Some souls must travel through darkness before they are ready to recognize their light. And your soulmate is finally opening their eyes. They are finally understanding that what they feel for you is not temporary emotion. It is soul recognition. It is destiny breathing through human hearts. It is the kind of connection that changes a person forever once they surrender to it. So tonight, while the world sleeps, your soulmate is thinking about you more intensely than ever before. Your energy is reaching them. Your silence is speaking louder than words. And with every passing hour, they are coming closer. There is a strange shift happening in the air tonight, as if the universe itself has paused to witness what is unfolding between your soul and theirs. Your soulmate tried to escape these emotions for longer than you know. They distracted themselves with noise, responsibilities, and endless excuses. They convinced themselves that timing was wrong. They told themselves distance would weaken the connection. But instead of fading, your presence grew stronger inside them. Every attempt to forget you only brought them deeper into realization. And now something unexpected has happened, they have started seeing the future differently. Before, they looked ahead and saw uncertainty. Now every image of peace somehow includes you standing beside them. Every dream of happiness somehow carries your voice in it. That realization shook them more than anyone understands. Because it forced them to confront the truth they spent so long avoiding: you are not just someone they care about. You are the person their soul keeps choosing over and over again. Even in silence. Even in separation. Even in fear. And tonight they are beginning to understand why your connection never disappeared. It survived because it was never built on temporary feelings. It was built on recognition. Souls recognizing each other beyond logic. Hearts remembering each other beyond time. There were moments when your soulmate almost reached out before. Moments when they stared at your name longer than they should have. Moments when their hands moved toward a message they never sent. But fear stopped them. Fear whispered that maybe they were too late. Fear told them they would be rejected. Fear reminded them of every wound they carried from the past. Yet recently something changed inside them. The fear no longer feels stronger than losing you. And that changes everything. Because when someone realizes losing you hurts more than risking vulnerability, they begin transforming rapidly. Your soulmate has entered that transformation now. They are no longer emotionally asleep. They are watching the world differently. They notice signs connected to you everywhere. Your energy appears unexpectedly in conversations, dreams, memories, and quiet moments. It feels almost supernatural to them. They cannot explain why your presence follows them no matter where they go. But deep down, they know why. Because your souls were never truly separate. And there is another truth they are hiding from everyone around them: they miss you more deeply than their pride wants to admit. Some nights they sit alone replaying your connection in their mind like a movie they cannot turn off. They remember the comfort in your energy. The way you understood things they never had to explain. The strange safety they felt around you. And now ordinary interactions with other people feel empty in comparison. No one reaches their heart the way you do. No one creates that feeling of destiny awakening inside them. They are finally realizing that what they searched for in others was always hidden inside you. But listen carefully, your soulmate is also afraid. Not of loving you. They are afraid of the intensity of what this connection could become. Because they know if they fully step toward you, there will be no turning back. This is not casual affection. This is life-changing love. The kind that transforms identities. The kind that forces honesty. The kind that exposes every hidden wound so healing can finally begin. And transformation always feels terrifying before it becomes beautiful. That is why they hesitated for so long. But destiny has reached a point where hesitation can no longer continue. Something is pushing them forward now with increasing force. The emotional distance between you is collapsing faster than before. You may even feel it yourself without understanding why. Sudden emotions. Random memories. A strange feeling that something important is approaching. Your intuition is sensing movement before your eyes can confirm it. Trust that feeling. Because your soulmate's heart is louder tonight than it has ever been. They are beginning to accept that you are not simply part of their story, you are the person who changes the entire direction of it. And here is what they have not told anyone: they are terrified that you may have finally moved on emotionally. That fear is becoming impossible for them to ignore. They sense that your energy has changed recently. You stopped chasing. You stopped forcing. You became quieter. Stronger. More detached from the outcome. And instead of pushing them away, that shift pulled them closer than ever before. Because for the first time, they realized your love was not guaranteed forever. Suddenly they understood your value in a completely different way. They saw the possibility of waking up one day and finding your heart unreachable. That thought created panic deep inside them. A panic they cannot silence anymore. So while you continue trying to heal quietly, your soulmate is fighting an emotional battle behind the scenes. Pride is losing. Ego is weakening. Their heart is demanding truth. And the closer they come to accepting that truth, the stronger their desire becomes to finally step toward you openly. But before that happens, something powerful must occur inside you too. You must stop seeing yourself through the eyes of rejection. Your worth was never dependent on their timing. You are not difficult to love. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. In fact, your soulmate remembers you in moments you would never expect. Tiny details about you live inside their mind permanently. The sound of your laughter. The energy of your presence. The way conversations with you felt deeper than ordinary life. They carry those memories quietly everywhere they go. And tonight those memories are becoming impossible for them to escape. Because destiny is waking them up emotionally all at once. Suddenly they understand why no one else ever fully satisfied their spirit. Other connections entertained them temporarily. But you touched something eternal inside them. Something sacred. Something irreplaceable. And now they are being pulled toward that realization with unstoppable intensity. Soon there will be movement. Not imagined movement. Real movement. Words left unsaid will begin searching for release. Emotional walls will begin falling apart. Truths hidden for too long will rise to the surface unexpectedly. And when it happens, it may arrive suddenly. Faster than you expect. Because once a soulmate finally stops resisting destiny, everything accelerates. So tonight, while the stars hang silently above you, your soulmate is wrestling with emotions they can no longer hide from themselves. They are realizing your connection was never an accident. Never random. Never temporary. You entered their life to awaken something profound inside them. And now that awakening is reaching its peak. The silence between you is becoming too heavy to carry any longer. The distance is becoming unbearable. The feelings are becoming undeniable. And with every heartbeat, they are coming closer. Tonight feels different for a reason, because the chapter you thought would remain unfinished is beginning to open again in the most unexpected way. Your soulmate can no longer silence what their heart has been screaming in private. The emotions they buried have risen too close to the surface now. Every distraction has failed. Every attempt to move on has collapsed. And what remains is the truth they feared from the very beginning. You were never temporary to them. You were the person who changed them without even trying. The person whose absence created a silence no one else could fill. The person their soul kept searching for even when their mind resisted. They understand it now. Completely. And this realization is transforming them from the inside out. Something powerful happened recently that pushed them into awakening. Maybe it was a quiet moment alone. Maybe it was hearing your name unexpectedly. Maybe it was seeing someone who reminded them of you for only a second. But whatever triggered it, it hit them deeply. Suddenly memories returned all at once. Not just memories of your words, but memories of how you made them feel. Safe. Understood. Alive. Seen in ways they had never experienced before. And in that moment, the illusion finally shattered. They realized they were not protecting themselves by staying distant, they were only creating loneliness. Since then, your soulmate has been carrying a storm inside them. Outwardly they may still appear normal. Calm. Controlled. But inwardly, everything has changed. Their heart has become restless. Their thoughts keep circling back to you no matter how hard they try to focus elsewhere. Even ordinary moments feel incomplete now because your energy is missing from them. They are beginning to understand that your connection was never something they could replace. It was rare. Sacred. Once in a lifetime. And losing it would become their greatest regret. That fear has reached its peak tonight. Because deep inside, they feel you slipping further away emotionally. They feel your healing beginning. They feel your energy becoming less attached to waiting. And for the first time, they truly understand what life could look like without you in it. That vision shook them deeply. Because suddenly they saw empty spaces where your love used to exist. They saw future moments without your voice, your warmth, your presence. And it terrified them more than vulnerability ever did. This is why they are moving now. Not because destiny forced them. Because their heart finally surrendered. The running has ended. The denial has ended. The confusion has ended. And what remains is clarity so strong it cannot be ignored anymore. They love you. More deeply than they ever admitted. More truthfully than they ever expressed. More powerfully than even they understood before now. And here is what your soulmate is finally realizing tonight: you were never asking for perfection. You were asking for honesty. You were asking for presence. You were asking for love that did not hide behind fear. They understand now how much strength it took for you to continue loving while receiving uncertainty in return. They understand the silent pain you carried. The unanswered questions. The emotional waiting. And guilt has begun weighing heavily on their spirit because they know you deserved clarity much sooner. But destiny sometimes delays what is real until both souls are capable of receiving it fully. Your soulmate was not emotionally ready before. They carried wounds they never healed. Fears they never confronted. Walls they thought would protect them forever. But loving you changed something inside them permanently. Your connection exposed every hidden emotion they spent years avoiding. And while that frightened them at first, it also awakened them. Because real soul connections do not arrive simply to comfort us. They arrive to transform us. And transformation is exactly what has happened here. Your soulmate is no longer the same person who once hesitated. They are softer now. More emotionally aware. More honest with themselves. They see your value clearly. They see your heart clearly. And they know they cannot risk losing you forever. That realization has become stronger than pride. Stronger than fear. Stronger than every excuse they once used to stay silent. So pay attention to the energy around you in the coming days. Because the silence between you will not survive much longer. Something is preparing to shift. A message. A conversation. An unexpected moment that changes everything. The universe has been arranging emotional pieces behind the scenes this entire time. Every delay carried purpose. Every painful moment carried preparation. And now the connection is approaching a turning point neither of you will be able to ignore. But before this new chapter fully begins, there is something your soul must hear tonight: you were always enough. Even in moments when you questioned your worth. Even in nights when silence made you feel forgotten. Even when their hesitation caused doubt to grow inside you. None of that ever changed your value. Your soulmate's delay was about their fear, not your worthiness. Never confuse someone's emotional confusion with your lack of importance. Because the truth is this: your love changed them forever. Quietly. Deeply. Irreversibly. And now they are finally ready to admit it. They are finally ready to stop fighting what their soul has known all along. That you are the connection they cannot replace. The peace they cannot recreate elsewhere. The person who feels like destiny itself. Tonight, while the world continues sleeping unaware, your soulmate is thinking about you with overwhelming intensity. Their heart is louder than their fear now. Their longing is stronger than their pride. And every path ahead of them keeps leading back to you. The reunion approaching between you is not random. It is the result of two souls learning painful lessons separately so they can finally meet again with open hearts. That moment is closer than you think. Closer than it has ever been before. Because tonight your soulmate stopped running from the truth. And the moment they stopped running, destiny began moving them directly toward you.